Hello, lovely viewers. I'm Devi, and I welcome you all to yet another episode of Devi's Horror Nights, where we dive into the chilling tales that send shivers down our spines without the intention of generating belief in ghosts. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow thrill seekers, and of course, subscribe to my channel for more creepy stories like this one. Alright, without further delay, let's get started. A few days back, my dad was passing by a lane next to a vegetable and fish market. Strangely enough, the lane was almost desolate and quiet that evening as the market was closed that day. His attention was drawn to a building overlooking a dried up riverbed that reeked of garbage. But here's the twist. The side of the building facing the desolate riverbed was decorated with tiles depicting gods and goddesses. Strange, isn't it? There was an incense shop on the other side of the lane. He went toward the shop intending to buy some incense sticks, but the shop was closed. Two gentlemen were standing next to the shop. Suddenly, one of them came close to him and inquisitively asked, "You seem to have a craze for incense sticks. I've seen you quite often buying them from here." He said, "Yes," gentleman said. "You buy them because you love good perfume, but my case is different." My dad asked why. He said, "I'm forced to buy them." The answer seemed to be quite weird. The gentleman continued, "I stay close by. If you have time, then I can put light on why I'm forced to buy incense sticks." My dad said, "Yes, go ahead." The man took my dad towards the building where he stayed. "This was the same building we discussed earlier," he said. "I reside on the third floor." As they stood beneath its shadow, he began weaving a tale of the supernatural, of eerie sightings and inexplicable events that have haunted that residence for years. His story takes us back to a time when the metro was a new sensation, making daily commutes a cakewalk. He was young and was just married. He resided in this building with his wife and mother. For him, the metro was a boon because it saved time, and while returning back home, he used to buy vegetables and groceries, etc., from the market, which was just 5 minutes away from his flat. Until now, life was moving relatively smoothly for him. He was enjoying the facilities of the metro. The metro track is above the ground in this area, and it was built on the canal which was once a river. The track was few feet from his window, but with progress came a price. The once serene riverbed became a dumping ground for waste, covering the area in an unbearable stink. Then tragedy struck. One day, a young girl from the nearby building tragically ended her life by jumping from the fifth floor on the rail track and was mutilated by the passing metro rail. It was almost on the aim level of the narrator's river-facing window. It was a shocking and heartbreaking sight. He couldn't gather the courage to even glance out of the window. All he could see from his flat on the third floor was the horrifying aftermath, blood staining the ground below. The aftermath was chaotic, with police inquiries and a lingering sense of unease among the residents. After some days, when the chaos settled down, life eventually returned to normal. Here I need to mention the description of the room, for which he always had an urgency of incense for a permanently fragrant home. The view from the window was of the metro passing by and the railway tracks in the distance and the once flowing river, now reduced to a dry bed reeking of garbage and decay. The stench of garbage filled the air with a foul smell. That is the reason after sunset they used to keep the windows closed and lit a sage or an incense stick. On one particular night, it was already 10:15 pm, and his mother was sitting close to the window in her favorite chair and was about to close it. Just as she was finishing up with a book, she called him over, alarmed by the sight of a girl walking slowly along the tracks. He reassured her, saying the train wouldn't come at this hour and there was no danger because the last train was at 9:30 pm. But when they looked again, the girl had vanished without a trace, leaving them both perplexed. Years passed and his mother was no longer with them. His son, now 9 years old, was studying near the window one evening around 9 pm. He called out to his father, pointing towards the tracks, asking why a girl was walking there. Suddenly, memories of that airy night flooded back to him. With curiosity, he rushed to the window only to find a faint vision of a girl walking along the railway line in the dim light of a small lantern during a power outage. Filled with unease, he quickly closed the window, haunted by the inexplicable reappearance of the girl from years. Several months after this incident, his sister arrived at his place with her husband and son for a short stay. He allocated them the same room as it was spacious, advising them to keep the window shut after 10 pm and to use incense or room freshener. However, they questioned the necessity of closing the windows, citing discomfort. They opted to keep them open initially, promising to shut them later. He agreed and left them to it. On their first night, his sister and her son had already retired to bed while her husband reclined on a sofa near the window engrossed in a book. It was late at night when suddenly he was gripped by a terror upon spotting a girl peering into the room through the window grill and net, her gaze chillingly intense. In a swift, surreal moment, she crawled the bridge wall like a lizard and vanished. Devastated, he lost consciousness. Imagine the horror of witnessing a half-bodied girl with chilling eyes peering through a window before vanishing into the night. Such encounters drove the residents to seal their windows shut. Additionally, they established a temple on the ground floor and adorned it with protective tiles. As my dad stood beneath the window listening to this airy tale firsthand, fear crept over him and he felt a chill running down his spine. The gentleman noticed his unease and asked if he was frightened, to which he admitted he was. The gentleman proceeded to recount numerous other unsettling occurrences in the vicinity. Deciding that one encounter was enough for the day, my dad bid farewell to the gentleman, resolving to return another time, and while passing through the lane, he happened to catch a short glimpse of that part metro bridge. He felt that chill of the unknown. And there you have it, my dear viewers, a spine-tingling tale of supernatural encounters and the enduring power of belief. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, stay safe. Goodbye for now.